Hello everybody. Today I was doing a Marxist theory lens analysis of the book In the Time of the Butterflies, written by Julia Alvarez. Before I begin, I just want to point out that the Marxist theory has to do with social class on the social structure and just how unfair it is. The social class structure is unfair throughout society, and that people have different levels of power within their status on the social pyramid, and they have different behaviors, attitudes, actions, and treat others differently because of this difference in status. That being said, people can have hard or negative relationships with each other. In fact, these hard negative relationships we face in the real world generally have to do with social status, because they're like, haha, I'm better than you, I'm older than you, or like, I have more wealth than you. And it's just unfair because we're all people, but we treat each other differently because of how much power they have. One way the author of this book justifies this theme through the development of the characters throughout the scenes and setting of the book, and she justifies just how unfair this social structure is. Before I begin, I just want to point out that the book is a set of many different viewpoints and points of view. In different chapters, it's a different person narrating. It's not just one narrator throughout the book like most books are. So for the first part, I just want to mention a big scene in the beginning when a character named Day Day is narrating. She is having an interview with another person in the beginning, talking about a time back in her days when she was on this outing with a large group of people, and that because of her lower social status, she got taken to a smaller group. And this smaller group had to go to a different dorm hall that was not as well organized and wasn't as fashionable as the large group got to. Also, the leader of this group, Sor Milagros, had to make an exception for Day Day and her friend, but she didn't want to make an exception for everyone else. This upset Day Day and caused her to stand up to Sor Milagros, saying that she didn't think it was fair that Sor Milagros made an exception for her, but not anyone else. The narrator then states on page 14, quote, that I suppose that being a nun-in-law, not very many people tells her what's wrong and right. Then it struck me that this plump little nun with a bit of white under her headdress wasn't a mama or papa I could argue with. This just goes to show that the social class structure is unfair, because Sor Milagros' social class as a nun, caused her to have all this power, and that not many people really have the guts stamped to her because of her status as a nun, and that when Day Day realized this, she realized how awkward it was that she was actually standing up to this person, just because of how much power, the difference in power between Day Day and Sor Milagros. This connects to the theme that the social class structure is unfair because, like I said, because of their power differences, this situation became awkward, and that Day didn't get supported on her standing up because no one else had the guts to support her after having this little awkward situation between the social class structure levels of power. Start the book, there we get introduced to four sisters, Day Day, as I already mentioned, Maria and Patricia, and Minerva. I will point out before I continue that Maria likes to write in her journal, and she calls it her little book, and I will get back to this point later when I bring another point that supports this theory. The father of this family, Papa, has a direct relationship with the ruler of their society, Trujillo, and it's not as positive as it could be because Trujillo has a high level of power and Papa has a lower level of power. And because of this, they don't get along as much as Papa would like. But Trujillo's just like, haha, nope, I have more power than you, I can overthrow you. And in a way he kind of does, because later in the book, once he's fed up with having this negative relationship, he just sends them all off to jail. This is a very sad part of the book, because while they're in jail, the different sisters are talking through throughout the different chapters about their perspectives on this, and I found personally very upsetting when Maria was still writing in her journal, but she was saying, "Oh my gosh, why am I here? I don't deserve this. I just want to live a normal life." And it really is unfair because they're having to go through all this all because of this stupid social structure thing. This goes to show that the social class structure is unfair throughout the society because, as we can see, an example of this consequence of a bad relationship, jail sentence. Things get worse towards the end of the book when everyone in the family but Dede dies. Almost no one was able to make it through the sentence alive, and in the end of the book we see Dede kind of reflecting on her life, kind of like how she could have gone better in her life, how this could have gone better, and just how upsetting this is that things had to go out this way. I personally found this a really sad part of the book as well, but the way kind of bittersweet because at the same time, even though it's sad that everyone died, it's also kind of happy because Dede is free now. She is not part of this family anymore, and because of this, she is able to live out her life without having to deal with Trulio anymore, hopefully. In conclusion, we can see that the social class structure is unfair throughout society because of people's level of social class. We can see this development of the characters and the scenes in the book, and that the author of the book, Julia Alvarez, just wants us to just realize just how unfair and just pointless this social structure discrimination is between everyone, and that we should just take a stand for it, and we should just stand up for ourselves whenever things seem to not go for too badly for the people that have lower social status. And unfortunately, this happens in the real world too, because, as you can see, there is discrimination, there's isolation, and just people are like, haha, I'm better than you, I'm older, I have more wealth, or I have more friends, and people just discriminate each other based off of these, and as we can see as an example in the book, things cannot go well for people. Unfortunately, that's just how things happen in the real world. It's just the way us human beings interact with each other. Well, thank you for listening. This has been a Marxist theory lens analysis of the time of butterflies.